Don't start bleach, eh? Don't start
Okay.
bleach.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Until people start disliking the way I look, I'm not gonna dislike the way I
Not
look. You feel me?
bleach.
Feel me?
um, well, some people might have to go that route. I don't mean talk about you, but they might start doing things to enhance their appearance because the summer, in case you haven't heard, my Torontonians is apparently back. I mean, Caribana and I mean Pride Parade are going on again in 2022, despite the possibility of a new variant. Now that's a whole other conversation, which I'm sure you would like to sink your claws into. Just
Not really. Not really.
whatever. Anyways, the point is,
Maybe a little bit.
I'm excited. I've never really truly been a big fan of Bana. I've never been a fan of Bana. I went to Bana
Seriously?
a couple times. Yeah, only because I don't like crowds. But also, I feel like it takes too long, and people are going to hear that. They're going to be like, "Well, why do you? It's supposed to take long. Things you like, you want to last." But here's the main part why I don't really enjoy Bana, and I'm going to call Caribana Bana for the rest of this segment. I don't like soca. I don't
Okay.
like soca.
That's definitely a big part. That's definitely a big part of it. So
Yeah, you know what I
right.
mean. But like, are you going to go to Bana this year now that you know it's up and running again?
I mean, calling it banner is not an insult. I mean, a lot of people call it banner, so there's nothing wrong with calling it banner in the first place. I believe
Okay.
now it's called the Toronto Street Festival or something stupid anyway. So just the fact that you've incorporated banner is a compliment. So thank you, sir. I know your intentions was opposite, but you failed.
It was
Um,
not.
I have been going to Caribana for a long time. I've been going since it was a thing, and you had to prepare and plan your nearest exit. That's since I've been going since those days, because you never know when somebody was going to get violent or when you had to find a fence to hop into Caribana. One of the two, either getting in or getting out. You had to figure out your routes. It was very strategic. You'd go with your friends, you'd plan it out. It was a whole day. Those were the early 2000s of the Bana thing, right? So now it's come to a place where I had to alter that. I'm older. I got to switch it up. I got to change what I do. So I like Bana. I like how long it is because I found a way to hustle. I have made money at Caribana for the last 3 years, and it's nothing
Oh Lord.
complicated.
What
It's
are you
nothing
selling?
complicated.
You selling water for like
You've
$5 a
walked
bottle,
past
eh?
me. You've walked past me a million times. Yes, there's millions of me as you walk down the street, and I am that guy selling you that cold, cold, cold beverage that you oh so dearly need. And I'm dragging the coolers, and I'm going to the store, and I'm buying the cases of water, and I'm buying the Gatorades, and I'm cops are walking by, and I'm selling it right. They don't care. As soon as I found out that the cops don't care, I turned it into my little hustle thing. So I love Banner. I've made a few $100 easy every
And
time I go down
and,
there, and I don't,
and then you
I get
take
a
the
bubble,
money
and I get a few
and you
bubbles,
party, you
and I get a
party.
few, and I get some dances. Yes,
You know
make
what's
sure I rock a
funny?
sleeveless tee,
You know what's funny? Speaking to the attire, when I used to live
fishnet.
downtown Toronto, or at least a little west downtown, but you'd see all the women in their costumes. It's not called
Right.
costume, it's called something else. It escapes me right now. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute. But you see all of them in their costumes, and they're
They're
just
playing
walking.
mass. They're playing mass.
Yeah, but they're just walking the streets. They're taking the transit just in almost next to nothing,
Right.
right? And I think to myself, I mean, it must be safe because in any other day of the year, a woman would not do that. But I feel like they do this, and the whole city's into it, and they don't get, and ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming you don't get harassed. But then, but then you watch the playback of Bana. People take their videos and everything and they post it on the gram, wherever.
Mhm.
Bro, I've seen on any other day, on 364 days, if this type of behavior happened to a woman, there would be police involved. I've seen women essentially have sex right there on the parade route, not actually having sex, but they're being groped, Like clothes are being ripped, mind you. They're into it. No one's being forced to do anything. The women that I've seen in these videos are into it. I'm just saying, on any other day, 364, any other of those days, that would be a problem. Is it just the
Okay, I got
spirit
it.
of Banner?
No,
Is that
no,
it?
no, no, no. No, no, no. See, you're giving it a bad look, first of all. You're giving it a bad image, first of all, the way you're describing it. Because you have to understand that with all these things, and especially with Caribana, the reason why it's so important to anybody from that culture is because it's an expression of our culture that shows that there's something else other than the violence that everybody else wants to put on us. We can go out, we can have a good time, but we are very sexual creatures. That's all it is. Caribbeans are very sexual creatures. I'm just Jamaican, but I've met Trinis, Guyanese, I've met all of them, and we're very sexual people. The music that we put out, if you listen to the lyrics, if you understand the lyrics of dancehall music, if you've ever listened to the lyrics of soca, and you understand the lyrics that they're saying, they're all very sexual songs. So when you describe it as women being groped and clothes being torn off and all that, it's not like it's not like that.
First
It's
of
the
all,
ability to dance that way sexually with somebody, and this is the ability of a lot of people. You can have a dance like that where you're touching it, if as long as the girl allows it,
thank
and
you.
then you walk off and you never see that girl again for the rest of your
Again,
life. There's no
please,
harassment
yes,
involved.
okay, but listen, don't take what I'm saying out of context. For starters, I'm describing what I see. I don't go, I don't participate. So I'm just telling you what I see. Second of all,
I
I
go,
did,
so I
but
gotta make
I
sure
know,
you see it.
but I'm also saying, second of all, I said the women in these videos are participating willingly. So I'm
Right.
not saying, and if it came across this way, I apologize, but I'm not saying, ladies, you have to be concerned going to Banner that something's gonna happen to you. I'm not saying that at all. And if again, like I said, if I said that, I apologize. But I'm just telling you the type of behavior wouldn't work any other day of the year. But I guess it really just boils down to time and place.
It's culture, man. It's the culture. It's the
Well,
culture.
okay, well, hold on.
If you
No,
go to a
yeah.
club, if I go to a club, if I go to a club in Jamaica, right? And the people around there are just different in the club vibe. It's not as hesitant, it's not as calculated, as thought out as they do over here. It's as simple as if I see a girl and she look nice and she's dancing nice, right? I walk up to her and I walk up to her from behind her. I might say something in her ear, or I might just see if she wants to dance. Now she's either gonna start bubbling,
Or push you
get
off.
a, or push you off. And if she pushes you off, then you move on to
That
the
means you
next one.
move on. Thank you.
And
Exactly.
that's how it
Agreed.
works.
No,
That's
no,
how
I
it works.
agreed.
So this is a culture that people are not used to, because in Canada, if that happens to a guy from here, oh, now she's an ugly bitch. Now, oh, you're lucky that I even came over. I didn't even, it was a dare. They're making all type of excuses, insulting the female again. That's not the culture that we have. So when we are doing these things, you're looking at it from a westernized view. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You are
So
looking at it from a westernized view.
okay, so now let's take that view. Because remember, it's not just Banner that's happening. Pride is continuing.
Right.
Now let's take that westernized view of how some people may look at Banner and it's very sexual, and you know what I mean. These guys are being aggressive to. Fine, that's a fair criticism because people do say that. But let's take that same view and let's put it on Pride. There's a lot of nudity in Pride.
Correct.
Women walking around naked, guys walking around with their dicks out.
Correct.
And
It's
the
legal, by
same,
the way.
I know, but the same people who are also criticizing Pride for the overly, what they would call overly aggressive and sexual nature, they're also okay with Pride. Now, I've actually went to Pride. I went to Pride with my wife, my sister, and her. I'll leave that part out of it. But yeah, and I had fun. I had a lot of fun. Oh, and her friend BJ, like we had a blast. But again, a lot of nudity, a lot of touchy feely, almost the same thing that you would see at Banner, just without the beat.
Right.
But you don't actually get the same criticism from the Pride crowd, and I'm wondering why.
Like I said, okay, so it's an understanding of cultures, right?
But Pride,
As
but
much
that's a culture too. They
it
have their
is a
own culture
culture,
too.
but a lot of people within that culture are from Canada, born and raised. been here their whole life. A lot of people in that culture are here. A lot of people have been westernized for a long time. If they're not from Canada, they've been on the western coast. They're not from too far away. You know what I mean? So when you incorporate those people into that, it allows it to have more freedoms without the criticisms, right? Because the people who would be criticizing are, some of them may be participants in the parade, or they're for that.
Listen, I will tell you, I will say this. Don't get it twisted. A lot of the people who are marching in the parade, they fool with Banner too. Like they're
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
pro
not saying, yeah, I'm
Banner
not,
for
obviously,
sure.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is the thinking. All I'm saying is the thinking is different. It's impossible from anybody born and raised here to look at a festival, I guess we call it now, like Caribana, and be able to fully understand it. You can't, because you're not from there, right? It's easier for people from here to understand what's going on in Pride and be accepting of it because they saw it evolve. They saw it come up from what it was before. You know, it didn't, Pride Parade didn't start off this way. It started off with people having to fight to have to get through the streets. People would spit on them. People would throw things at them. I didn't forget about those days. You know what I mean? And people here were able to see all of that and understand it and evolve from it. So that's the difference. That's why it's easier for people to accept that when they see it now. And now people are walking naked because they're like, oh, I remember when you couldn't even, you had to pretend that you were heterosexual because you were afraid of losing your job. I remember when people used to insult us. I remember when saying somebody, oh, bro, you're acting gay was an insult type thing. And now look at us. So if they want to go out and be naked and show themselves and show their bodies, power and freedom to them. But you can't say that about people from Jamaica and all these other Caribbean places because you've never seen the evolution. You don't understand the culture. You just listen to the music and dance to it at clubs and hear about Sean Paul, right? Nobody delves deeper into it.
Well, I mean, excellent points made, but I guess the question beckons an answer. You said you were going to Banner. You going to Pride?
No.
What if we went to Pride? I mean, we're two guys brand.
Listen, listen. If people want to see it, and I hope people are watching and they actually engage in this one because this is for real. If people like this and they comment about it, two guys doing a pod will definitely go down to Pride, put me in that situation, and let people ask me some tough questions, man. Let me ask some tough questions.
Listen, I'm going to Pride this year and Banner, so you're more than welcome to. Well, I know I'll see you at Banner slanging $10 waters.
I'm only going if people want to see me go. I'm not going just to go. Yeah, no.
Well, okay. I want you to go.
Okay.
So that's a person, not people. That's a person that wants you to go.
I hear you, man.
Viewing public, leave it in the comments, man. Get this guy down there. What are your thoughts, though? Honestly, as far as how people here in Canada view the two festivals, the two parades, do they look at one differently? Are there a lot more similarities than we even mentioned? Are you going? Are you going to be masked up? I got a lot of questions. I'm wearing my mask.
Wow.
I'm wearing my mask. Yeah, I'm wearing my mask.
No,
I'm wearing my mask to Banner and Pride.
We're talking August. No. Okay.
Yeah, I'll walk with multiples. All right, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Have a backup for me. He's going to carry backup.